But before we go to the marriage piece, maybe there are some guys who are single here. Let me say, you need to change your approach in any relationship. Some of you maybe have just bounced from another relationship to another relationship. Here it is. It's your choice to change. I have learned, number one, that you must never ever get involved in any relationship with a person who does not hunger for the voice of God. Because God instituted relationships. So if you get into a relationship and there is no God in there, you're in trouble. Because you will have time. Oh well, in my house we don't say arguments, okay? My wife and I don't argue, but we do have times of intense fellowship. Times of what? Yeah, the fellowship can get intense, but we don't argue. You know, I love my wife, she loves me. We don't argue, we don't fight. But there are times, labs, that we have times of intense. The fellowship is that, but there's errands there. But we don't fight, we don't argue. So number one, if you want to change your attitude towards a relationship, never get involved with a person who does not know God. Because God instituted this thing called marriage. God instituted this thing called relationship. So if God is not in the picture, I promise you, I'm a marriage counselor, you're not going to succeed in that relationship. Another thing, never get involved with a person who is ungrateful. Because an ungrateful person tends to become an unthankful person. Number three, never get involved with a person who is not flexible. Please repeat after me. Blessed are those who are flexible, for they shall not be bent out of shape. In a relationship, you need that flexibility. I'm talking about before you get married. You need a person, a man or a woman, with that kind of flexibility. Here's number four. You must ensure this person is growing himself or herself. Because you can never go into a relationship where you expect this person will complete you. If you want to change and grow in life, it is a personal decision. No relationship, no marriage can make you grow. You make that decision, you make that choice yourself that you want to grow or develop. So let me now go to 10 things for some of those who are married, for the men and for the women. Okay, let's start first of all with the ladies. Guys, I'm going to try my part, okay? Okay? 10 things. They're in the book, 10 things. Number one, ma'am, the number one need, not want, the number one need of a husband is this: sexual fulfillment. You take care of that department, all the other things shall be added unto you. Come on, guys, don't look at me like that. Now, J. Pratt, David, now. J. Pratt, now you're talking, Dave. You're talking now. I'm married 25 years. I know what I'm talking about. It is a need. If you want this guy to inspire him and influence him to change, take care of that department. Making love to your husband is the best medicine ever. If he's filled with moods and nonsense and irritable, and trust me, all these things shall be added unto you. But again, as a wife, don't use sex as a weapon to control him. Because there are some wives, they also need to change, because if he is good, he gets some. If he's not good, over my dead body. My wife and I were counseling a woman. She says to me, he knows me. When I am mad, I choose to change, but negatively. I said, what do you mean you choose to change negatively? She says to us, when I go to bed with my bogart. What are you doing in bed with a bogart? You don't take jeans in the bed with you. You need the softer stuff, not the hard stuff. Never use sex to control your man. You want to change your relationship and begin to spice it up? It's a choice. Ma'am, sexually fulfill him. Because you take care of that, I promise you, a lot of things will be better in that home. Here's the second thing. The second thing about a husband, that he needs this. Here it is. He needs respect, particularly when he is wrong. Come on, guys, I'm doing my part, okay? Because I'm going to turn against you now, okay? So, support me, smile, or do something, When you respect a guy when he's right, it's the norm. But you need to change. Even when he's wrong, you still deal with the issue. I'm not happy, and you personalize it. Never use words like you never or you always. Guys don't like that kind of word. But use words like, I feel offended. I feel hurt. I'm deeply disappointed. You personalize it. You still deal with it, but with respect. Because that's what a man understands. When you respect a man, still deal with the issue. You don't have to raise your voice. 5 years of my marriage were difficult, because any marriage has got 3 rings. The engagement ring, the wedding ring, and then the suffer ring. That's the tough one there, My wife says to me, we need to go for counseling. I said, excuse me? She said, we need to go for counseling. Ladies, men don't like the word counseling. Mangubin, don't ever use that word after you get hooked up already. I know you're half hooked up, but when you're fully hooked up, don't ever use the word counseling. Because a man doesn't understand that word. It does not give the man respect. But when you say to a guy, let's go for an empowerment session, his mind, he hears the word power, he says, where? That's what you mean. You want to change the attitude of the guy, use the word empowerment. Or, we use the word enrichment. The word he hears is what? That's it. But when you say you're going for counseling, the guy says, sweetheart, listen, since you came up with this idea, why don't you go and let them fix you? Just go up there, you'll find me right here. Respect. A man needs a respect. Number 3, ladies, a man needs a woman that he can implicitly trust. The key word is implicitly trust. Remember, it's a choice. The danger with women is this, that when I share my weaknesses, when I share my flaws with my wife, she must never ever use that against me when we have a time of intense fellowship. Umasilo, ungayispanishi, ungasebenzisi lendo le problem yami. Umasilo masicabanga. A man is a woman that he can implicitly trust. Says, princess, men are not fair. Have you noticed, if I fool around and my wife finds out, I expect her to say, baby man, I'm sorry. I'm expecting her to say what? I forgive you, go and sin no more. Hamba, be free. But if I find my wife sinning, hey, chief, I will bring my wife, bring the family. First thing I'll want, ma'am, I want my refund of Lobola plus VAT. Number 2, I give her the left foot of fellowship so that the parents can go teach her. Isn't that amazing? Guys are not fair. Why? Because we trust you as women. After God, a woman is right there. We don't expect a woman to make a mistake. Why? Because it's a choice we have made to say, woman, we appreciate you so much that we expect you to give us the respect. Which brings us to number 3. The third thing that a man needs is this. A man needs to be admired. You want to change in your relationship? You want to go to that next level? Admire your man. What do you mean admire a man? Always catch him doing something right. By the way, this is also equally important in the workplace, because we always catch people doing something wrong. We also need to try to get people doing something what? Right. And affirm them, encourage them. Get a man doing something right. Don't compare your husband with another guy. Oh, you should have seen David Molapo, the way he was dressing, the way TV. No, he doesn't care about David Molapo. Talk to him. Speak things that are not there in him. Tell him you are a darling, you are a champion, you are a winner. It does something. A man needs to be what? Admired. Which brings us to number 4. A man needs to be praised. A man needs a cheerleader. When he comes from Assmang, he's tired. When he comes through the door, dance and do something like this. Do something, My sister, I'm serious, it will do wonders. En Afrikaans, hulle sê, elke haan is koning en it's mes hoop. Every person, when you come to your house, you feel like you're in the castle, and people are cheering you up, Remember, before Nelson Mandela will come in, there'll be an mbongi, a praiser. They'll go, oh, Tata Mandela, what? You see Mandela walking tall like this. Try it at home. It works. Of course, don't do it today. Do it next week, because they'll say, what happened at Assmang today? What did that woman give you? Or what kind of ganja did you smoke that Assmang today?